Hello, Stampers. This is Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the U.S. Welcome to my channel. If you are returning for another Make It Monday, thank you so much. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy the video today. And if you do, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm thrilled that you're here, whether you're returning or new. I do have a sneak peek of the new in colors. You've probably seen them on some other sites, but I wanted to share them with you today. And I just have the paper here for today. But these are the brand new 2021 to 2023 in colors. Aren't they beautiful? We have pale papaya, polished pink, soft succulent, evening evergreen, and my favorite is fresh Freesia, and that's because I'm a purple girl. And that is a very pretty purple. Very different from the retiring purple posy. So those are the brand new in colors, and we are going to use a combination of old and new today to create our sneak peek project, which looks like this. Okay, so in here, of course, I have the fresh Freesia. That's a tongue twister, by the way. I also have some gorgeous Grape in here. I have some soft Succulent and some evening Evergreen for my stamped images back there, along with some soft Seafoam. And then, of course, fresh Freesia and the gorgeous Grape in the flower and the gorgeous Grape in the label. So the stamp sets that I am using are all current stamp sets that are in our current catalog. We're using Forever Fern, obviously, for some of the greenery images, along with their coordinating dies, the Forever Flourishing, right? Yes, Forever Flourishing dies. The flower is from All Things Fabulous. Okay, and this is one that was brand new this year, so I'm so glad it carried over because I actually just got it. And this might only be the second or third time I've used this particular stamp set. And then their coordinating dies. So this is actually a 3-step stamp. We're only going to use 2 images today, but as you can see, you can do up to 3 layers on many of the different images. There's also some great greetings in here. And then you get, oops, there's one I didn't use. You get all of these amazing dies. And this is very pretty, as you can see. I did cut that out, but decided not to use it. All right, so that is All Things Fabulous and Forever Fern. And then the last stamp set that I used is the Vine Design. And that's where I got my label from. So I have the outline of the label as well as the Thinking of You. And I love this because it's nice and long, so it takes up amount of space that you might need when you're making a particular type project. Plus, I like the greetings that are in it. And I love the dies that coordinate with this. You have all these lacy dies in the oval, in the rectangle, in the circle. There's our label die. And then all these cute little individual floral images that you can use to add different accents to your background pieces. So for instance, here is a Blushing Bride oval, and there's a Smoky Slate rectangle, and a Blushing Bride circle, right? So those floral images fit over the flowers, so you can add accent colors into your projects. This one, unfortunately, I'm not sure if we're going to see this in the annual catalog or not. This is in the current mini, the January through June mini, and just holding my breath that it will make it into something in the future, but I don't believe it made it into the annual catalog. I don't remember seeing it in there. And then, of course, I used the Painted Texture embossing folder for the background of the project. Okay, so this is pretty self-explanatory, but let's put this together for you. Beautiful, fresh Freesia. And this is just 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4 1/4. And I've got some gorgeous Grape for our layer here, as well as the piece that we embossed. So we can put some of this together. There it is. Does yours seal ever disappear on your table? It's laying right in front of you, but you can't see it. Well, it happens to me. So we're going to go ahead and layer the gorgeous grape on there. And I'm going to hold off on this because, as you can see, I just used the tiniest piece of the new In Color ribbons. Isn't that gorgeous? Hopefully that pale purple shows up on the camera for you. But again, we have that in all the colors, in the Fresh Freesia, in the Pale Papaya, the Evening Evergreen, the Soft Succulent, and the Polished Pink. Now, I did do some of the stamping ahead of time. So what I am going to do is pull in the other piece of Whisper White to just show you quickly. This is going to be the inside of my card. When I make a Thinking of You card, I tend to leave it blank on the inside so I can write my own message. But I always like to put some kind of an accent in there so that it ties the front of the card, the inside of the card, and then I'll do the same thing on my envelope so that it all ties the whole package together, right? So we are using the more solid stamp and the second level of the 3-step stamps. We are starting with Fresh Freesia. And I'm just going to stamp that down here in the corner. Okay. And I'll close that up. And you can see as it dries how different that color becomes. Like this almost reminded me, a little more purple in it, but almost of the Magenta Madness when I first stamped it. But it actually will dry to that color. And then we're going to use Gorgeous Grape for our second step. And I love the photopolymer stamps, but you know what? When you use a dark colored ink, it's not as easy to see through to line it up. That's not too bad. We'll take that. We will take that. All right, so I'm going to lay those aside. I'll clean those later. I can go ahead and mount this to the inside of my card. So hopefully you guys are getting excited for the new catalog that's coming. It will be here before we know it. If you don't have a current demonstrator that you're actively working with and you need a catalog, you can leave me a comment or find me on Facebook under Lori's Daily Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Drop me a message there and we can see how we can work together to make that happen for you. All right, so let me pull out some of these other pieces. I'm also using the Retiring Gold rings, and I absolutely love those. When they first were introduced, I thought for sure they were going to be fully rounded, but they're not. If you haven't played with them yet, they are still available. Of course, it is in a circle, but the edges, the sides of it are perfectly flat, which is great because then you can put some glue on there and not have any problems, right? So as you can see, I did a lot of layering. I stamped these in the the Evening Evergreen. Still learning those new names. Okay, so that one's an Evening Evergreen, and this I just die cut straight from the Succulent, the Soft Succulent ink. So we're going to go ahead and start building this up from the bottom. These are going to be my pieces that start off, and we're going to want those to kind of curl around our circle. So we're going to do it like that. Okay, and then we're going to bring in our soft Seafoam leaves. Again, these are all from those Forever Flourishing dies that coordinate with the Forever Fern stamp set. And they're sticking to me instead of each other. I should have brought in my silicone pad, and typically I have that laying pretty close, but we had a little oops here in my studio this morning, and the shelf that sits in front of me when I do my Facebook Lives collapsed, and that's where all those pieces were. So I have to put some stuff back together there. All right, so we're going to put this down here. this piece itself is going to cover up all the stems, right? So we're not going to have to worry about the stems. And then see how nicely that's going to come around. So we are going to start by putting some Tombow liquid glue, and I just basically hold it in my hand and go right along that flat edge, just a tiny bit. Okay, hopefully you can see that. It's a very small amount, but it's going to be perfect to place this on and have it hold in place. Okay. I'm going to give that a second or two to dry. We're going to bring in our embossed with the painted texture Whisper White piece. And that ribbon, that little snippet of ribbon. This is a great way to introduce the ribbon, but you don't need a whole lot of it, right? So now what I'm going to do is just put some of this glue on the back of the gold hoop. I was sorry to see these go. I really enjoyed playing with these. We're going to lay this down here and then bring our hoop down. And I'm actually just going to let that set in place for a minute or two. Hold that. I did want to get that ribbon in through there, right? So basically this is supposed to imitate something hanging over a door. We will tap that down with some of this beautiful, or tap the beautiful ribbon down with some seal. I do want to make sure that's lined up, and it is. Okay. So there we look like we have a hanger. And now this can actually go onto our card front. But I do love the new in colors. I was so sad to see some of the older ones, the Pretty Peacock and the Seaside Spray, and even the Rococo Rose. I was sad to see those leave, but I love these colors. I love the softness of them. And that Evergreen is a shade that we don't currently have, so that's pretty cool too. All right, and then I went ahead and I did the label and our flower, and we're going to go ahead and mount that in there. This we're going to put on with some dimensionals. And we can use the larger ones for this. And if you are new to my channel and you haven't seen this line that I do, I just do that with a pen when I take a new sheet of dimensionals out. And that way I know when I'm trying to get the backings off, if in fact I've removed the backing on a particular dimensional. You know, when you have a whole lot on and you're going through and you're like, did I pull that one off, didn't I? Well, if I don't see a black line, I know that I did in fact uncover that one. I can't take credit for that original idea, and I wish I could tell you where I saw it, but on some video I was watching, I saw someone do that, and I thought it was brilliant. So I now employ that in my own studio because it does save me from trying to remove something that doesn't exist, right? So there you go, that quick and easy. Now on this one, I did add some of the gold metallic pearls. They are carrying over into the new catalog, so that's great. And I may or may not go back and add them on this one. I'm not sure, but there is the project today. There's a bit of die cutting, but as I said, I did that in advance. And I hope that you enjoyed that. I think that is so pretty. And again, that fresh Freesia right now for sure is definitely my favorite of all the new in colors. Again, fresh Freesia, evening evergreen, soft succulent, polished pink, and pale papaya. Those are our brand new 2021, 2023 in colors. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you're notified when I have new tutorials come up or videos come up. And if you are interested in seeing more live videos, you can join me on my Facebook page, Lori's Daily Addicted Stamper. I go live on there Sunday nights at 8, Tuesdays at 2, and Thursday mornings at 10. And there's, of course, a whole lot of videos out there that you can go ahead and watch the replay of in the meantime. And again, if you don't have a demonstrator that you're currently working with, I would love to help you on your stamping journey. Here is my website. That is my April hostess code. If you do decide to place an order on there, please use that code and I'll enter you into the drawing for a freebie at the end of the month, as well as send you a welcome gift if it's your first order with me. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a great week. Thanks. Bye.